Father, I confess your word this day concerning my children as they pursue their education and training at school. You are effectually working in them, creating within them the power and desire to please you. I declare that they are the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. I pray that my children will find favor, good understanding, and high esteem in the sight of God and their teachers and classmates. I ask you to give my children wisdom and understanding as knowledge is presented to them in all fields of study and endeavors. Thank you for giving my children an appreciation for education and helping them to understand that the source and beginning of all knowledge is you. They have the appetite of the diligent, and they are abundantly supplied with educational resources. And their thoughts are those of the steadily diligent, which tend only to achievement. Thank you that they are growing in wisdom and knowledge. I will not cease to pray for them, asking that they be filled with the knowledge of your will, bearing fruit in every good work. I thank you that my children have divine protection, since they dwell in the secret place of the Most High God. My children trust and find their refuge in you, and stand rooted and grounded in your love. They shall not be led astray by philosophies of men, and teaching that is contrary to the truth. You are their shield and buckler, protecting them from attacks and threats. Thank you for the angels which you have assigned to them to accompany, defend, and preserve them in all their ways of obedience and service. My children are established in your love, which drives out all fear out of the doors. Father, your word declares that your children are an inheritance from you and promises peace when they are taught in your ways. I dedicate my children to you today, that they may be raised as you would desire and will follow the path that you choose for them. Father, I confess your word this day over my children. I thank you that your word goes out and will not return unto you void, but it will accomplish what it says it will do. Father, I commit myself as a parent to train my children in the way that they should go, trusting in the promise that they will not depart from your ways, but will grow and prosper in them. I turn the care and burden of raising them over to you. I will not provoke my child, but will nurture and love them in your care. I will do as the word of God commands and teach my children diligently. My children will be upon my heart and mind. Your grace is sufficient to overcome my inabilities as a parent. My children are obedient and honor their parents, being able to accept the abundant promises of your word of long life and prosperity. They are godly children, not ashamed or afraid to honor and keep your word. They stand convinced that you are the mighty God. I am thankful that as they grow, they will remember you and not pass by the opportunity of a relationship with Jesus. Your great blessings will be upon my children for keeping your ways. I thank you for your blessings over every area of their life, and you will see to the salvation and obedience of their life to your ways. Father, I thank you now that laborers will be sent into their path, preparing the way for salvation. As it is written in your word, through your Son Jesus, I am thankful that they will recognize the traps of the devil and will be delivered to salvation through the purity of your Son. You have given my children the grace and the strength to walk the narrow pathway to your kingdom. I pray that just as Jesus increased in wisdom and stature, you would bless my children with the same wisdom and pour out your favor and wisdom openly upon them. I praise you in advance for my children's future spouse. Father, your word declares that you desire for our children to be pure and honorable, waiting upon marriage. I speak blessings to the future union and believe that they will be well suited to their partners, and their household will be in godly order, holding fast to the love of Jesus Christ. Continue to prepare my children to be the children of God that you desire them to be. They shall be diligent and hardworking, never lazy or undisciplined. Your word promises great blessings to their houses, and they shall always be satisfied and will always increase. Godliness is profitable unto their house, and they shall receive the promises of life and all that is to come. Father, I thank you for protecting and guiding my children. Father, I cast the whole of my cares upon you, all of my anxieties, worries, and concerns, once and for all, for I know that you care for us affectionately and watch over us in care. Therefore I intercede for my children, deliver them through the cleanness of my hands. Father, I pray that my children will enter through the narrow gate, For wide is the gate, and spacious and broad is the way that leads away to destruction, and many are those who enter it. The gate is narrow and straight that leads to life. Father, allow my children to find that gate. Father, I thank you that all of my children shall be disciples, taught by the Lord, and obedient to your will, and great shall be their peace and undisturbed composure. Father, I pray that my children will obey us, for this is just and right. They will honor, esteem, and value as precious their father and their mother, for this is the first commandment with a promise that all may be well with them, and that they will live long on the earth. I pray that we will not provoke and irritate our children to anger, causing them to be exasperated or to resent us, but we will rear them in the training and discipline and the counsel and admonition of the Lord. I pray that my children will not be quarrelsome, fighting, and contending. Instead, they will be kind to everyone and mild-tempered, preserving the bond of peace, that they will be patient and forbearing, and willing to suffer wrong. They will be courteous and gentle, in the hope that God may grant them to know the truth, and that they will become accurately acquainted with it. Therefore, I declare that they will come to their senses and escape out of the snare of the devil, having been held captive by them. Father, I ask you to let my children's love be sincere and real. Cause them to hate what is evil and to turn from horror of wickedness. Let them hold fast to that which is good. Teach them to love one another as members of our family, giving precedence and showing honor to each other. Let them be zealous, aglow, burning with the Spirit, serving the Lord. Let them rejoice and exult in hope, be steadfast and patient in suffering and tribulation, and be constant in prayer. Cause them to contribute to the needs of God's people and pursue the practice of hospitality. Show them how to bless those who persecute them, who are cruel in their attitude toward them. Teach them to rejoice with those who rejoice, and share others' joys, and weep with those who weep, sharing others' grief. Show them how to live in harmony with one another, where they are not high-minded or exclusive, but readily adjusted to people or things, and cause them to give themselves to humble tasks. Never let them overestimate themselves or be wise in their own eyes. Father, I pray that my children will be consecrated, separated, and set apart for pure and holy living, that they will abstain and shrink from all sexual vice, and that they will know how to possess, control, and manage their own bodies in consecration, purity, separated from things that are profane. Father, I thank you that you hasten the spirit of Elijah the prophet, that you promised to send before the great and terrible day. For he shall turn and reconcile the hearts of the estranged fathers to the children, and the hearts of the rebellious children, lest you come and smite the land with a curse and a ban of utter destruction. But Father, most of all, you have taught me about love. You have taught me that if my children love me from their hearts, then they will choose to obey me from their hearts. Father, show me how to love my children and teach them about your love.